this is John from Heroes and Legends, and I have another comic book haul for you today. Finally got to go to a show. It was a smaller show, maybe mid-size, and they hold this quarterly in my area, and a lot of the same vendors always go, so I kind of know who they are, like who to go to first, what to look for, so I think I got some good finds there. Also, later in the video, I have some auction finds that I'll show you too. But starting with this show, I always go right to this one vendor, and he's a great guy. He prices things to move, which I like. He buys collections on eBay. Now, he'll sell major keys back on eBay, but a lot of the mid-range keys, 50-cent dollar books that he gets, he'll sell at this show, and they're always priced extremely well. So I go there first before everyone kind of picks over his stuff. He's obviously somebody a lot of people go to first. You'll notice that as soon as they open the doors. Okay, so the first set of books I got from him were 50-cent books, and this is Shell of the Dragon, which is a reprint of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 18. It's a colorized reprint that they did many, many years ago. When I was a kid, I got a copy of this book, actually. So for 50 cents, not a huge deal. It's not in great shape. You can see some spine ticks on the side and stuff. But for the most part, the book was pretty good for 50 cents. And I did have one from when I was a kid, but I just like the Turtles, so I thought I would pick this one up. Okay, so the next book I got was another 50-cent book. It was a Wizard 1/2. He actually had a few of these, and I like to pick up Wizard 1/2s whenever I can. This is Witchblade. I'm not a big Witchblade fan. I only have a few books. I don't know if I've ever read anything with Witchblade in it, honestly, but I like the Wizard 1/2. So for 50 cents, when I see those, I'll pick them up. And also had a couple others. We also got Witchblade versus The Darkness, and The Darkness was kind of hot for a minute back in the day. Had a video game and stuff, so okay, Wizard 1/2, cool. And another one I picked up, speaking of video games, Witchblade, Tomb Raider, Wizard 1/2. So, yeah, nothing big there, just 50-cent books, but wanted to grab those. Next, for 50 cents, I got Venom the Madness, and I thought this was just a cool cover because I never actually owned this book when I was a kid, but it's got the raised parts on it. It's a very 90s book, obviously. So, and this came out like shortly after I stopped buying comics, but I like the raised cover. I think that's cool. So I just grabbed it. It's got Juggernaut too, who was in the Deadpool 2 movie. This one now, Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, number 132, last part to Kraven's Last Hunt. Another book I have copies of. There's a little bit of a crunch in the corner there, unfortunately, but other than that, it's in great shape. For 50 cents, I didn't want to leave it there. And next one, 50 cents, Solar Man of the Atom, number 14. I love the old Valiant stuff, and if you watch my videos, you know I'm especially trying to look for pre-Unity stuff. There's some of that coming up later in the video, but hey, number 14 for 50 cents, definitely, I wanted to pick that up. Alright, last 50-cent book I picked up was Emma Frost, number 5, with the Greg Horn cover. I'm pretty sure I already have this, and I just picked it up because I needed to round out the dollar, but I love Greg Horn's older work. He does stuff occasionally now, not very often, but it's not as good as the older stuff, at least in my opinion. So, love this cover, and even if I do have it, I just figured, okay, I'll grab another copy of it for just $2. Now, this vendor also had stuff that was priced a little higher, and I actually found some really good deals there. So we're going to start off with a little Venom, and I have Venom Lethal Protector number 6 for $3. Of course, this is the series that the movie's based on, and I was pretty excited to find these, because when I was a kid, I stopped buying comics. I think I got 1, 2, maybe 3, and then I stopped buying comics altogether. So I never had 4, 5, 6. So I got 6, but maybe a little more excited about this next one. I also picked up number 5. Now, this is the first appearance of a bunch of symbiotes. One of them, though, is Riot, who's going to be the villain in the movie. I got this also for $3, and this book is really heating up right now. Beautiful condition. It's perfect. And for such a good price, I couldn't believe it was there, honestly. So that was a pretty awesome find. And yeah, I think this will continue to heat up in the coming weeks leading up and months leading up to the movie and beyond. So I guess we'll see with this one. But awesome pickup. Happy to get this. I don't have 4, maybe I have 3. I'll have to look for 4 when I'm out at shows. Next book was Spawn number 9, first appearance of Angela. Now, when I saw this sitting on the table, he had it covered by another book. It was just kind of laying flat with another book over it like this. So I thought maybe this is a newsstand, but unfortunately it wasn't. It was only $5 though, and it's in real nice shape, so I still picked it up. I have a copy of this from when I was a kid, and I have maybe one other copy, but this was in such perfect condition. I thought for $5, I'm just going to grab it. And she is doing more with Marvel. Of course, Marvel owns this character now. And she has a series coming out as Guardians of the Galaxy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But I do think down the road, this could heat up even more, considering it isn't a copy of the book that will be reprinted or anything like that, since the character changed hands and all of that. X-Men, $2.68. Got this for $7. I love this Jim Lee cover, and it's in beautiful condition. Another comic that I had when I was a kid, I think I have a newsstand, but this was in such pristine condition, I just had to pick it up. So I usually don't like to pick up things I have multiple copies of because there's so much stuff that I still want to get. But when it's in real good condition, I think it's better than what I already have. I'll grab it if the price is right, and that's what happened there. Beautiful cover, though. All right, so the next vendor I went to, they have reasonable prices, not really good deals, but sometimes you can find stuff there. And it's kind of like buying it on eBay. And there was one book I picked up, Batman 489, an early Bane appearance. When I was a kid, this book sold out. I never got a copy of it. It got reprinted. This is the first print. I paid $4 for this, probably what it's worth. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not even worth that. But I just wanted to get this book. I finally saw it and I was like, yeah, you know what? I wanted this my whole life. I'm just going to grab it for $4. This leads into Nightfall, of course. Just those first few issues before Nightfall sold out when I was a kid and just always drove me crazy. So there you go. Finally got it now. And that was all I bought from them. But there's another booth I like to go to, another table I go to, which is actually a comic book store. They have some big books sometimes and they do have really good deals. So I always buy stuff from them. The first book I picked up was a dollar book. They had a bunch of dollar books, actually. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark number 1, just because I like Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I don't think I had number 1. I believe I had a copy of number 2 prior to this, but they also had number 2. So for $1, there you go. I picked it up. Now I just need to find 3, I suppose. But I like reading some of these old Marvel movie adaptations. They can be kind of fun. Now, the next book I picked up for $1 was The Adventures of Superman. This is the first part of Funeral for a Friend. It was also the second printing. This is issue 498. So I like the high printings of these Death of Superman funeral books when I can find them. I have a third printing of this. I never had a second. There's actually a fourth. That's the one I really want to pick up. But for $1, I grabbed this. It's in real nice shape too, actually. And next we have Transformers number 4. Now this wasn't a dollar book. I paid $7 for this. But I never had number 4, and I used to collect Transformers pretty strongly, especially when I was younger. So I have a lot of them, but I don't have 4. So for the price, it's first print. I grabbed it. Next is another book that I paid a little more for, $5. This is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister, X-Men 221. And this is one of those books I've wanted for a long time, but it's always more than I want to pay for it. Like, it doesn't mean that much to me. So I'm kind of like, well, if I can find it cheap. It's not perfect. It's got some ticks and stuff, but for $5, this is a copy I'm happy with. I can check this off my list and kind of be done with it, but glad I got it regardless and found it for a good price. So I'm real happy with that. Next book I picked up from this particular table was First Appearance of Doomsday, Superman the Man of Steel number 18. This is the first printing. $7. Like, when I see this for $7, it's hard to pass it up. I have some copies from when I was a kid. They're probably not in perfect condition. This one looked really nice. So yeah, it was the right price. I grabbed it. Again, I like the higher printings of those though. Star Wars number 6. I got this one for $10. I've been trying to collect the original movie and the Empire movie adaptations from the old Marvel series. So the original movies 1 through 6. I have 2, I have 3, now I have 6. I have a second printing of number 1. Eventually I do want to get a first printing. So I'm working on that. This was in awesome shape for $10. I was really happy to grab it, actually. You have to be careful, too. There's a lot of reprints of those original ones out there, and sometimes they're hard to see if you don't know what you're looking for. But this is a first printing, so very happy to grab this for the price. And next, another big book. This is actually a real big book for me. Spawn number 1, UPC. I was so happy to see this. Now, I paid $35 for it. It wasn't cheap, but it's got a few ticks. Not bad, though. Overall, it looks really nice. And Spawn is heating up with all the movie information coming out. So I wanted to get this before things got crazy. I mean, Spawn number 1 is already going up in price quite a bit. As a matter of fact, the UPC especially, I can't imagine as we get closer and closer to the movie what's going to happen with this UPC variant. So really excited to get that. I love these UPC variants from Image. Next, there were actually a couple books together that they cut a deal with me on. So I got both of these for $35. I think their sticker price was like $45. They cut off $10. Basically, I was buying a lot of stuff from them. Wolverine number 2. I really want to collect this miniseries. I need to still get 1, 3, and 4, but this is in perfect condition. Like, it looks amazing. So I had to grab this. Eventually, I'll find the others. This is another one of those series. I don't want to spend too much for it, but I can find it at the right price and good condition. I'm going to go for it, and eventually I'll get there. But real happy that I got number 2. And here's the second book in that lot that they gave me for $35. And it is another first appearance. Black Cat, Amazing Spider-Man 194. Now, I've wanted this for a while. It's not perfect. You can see it's got the line through the UPC. It's got the spine ticks going on and stuff. But I think this is a very undervalued book right now, underrated book. Awesome character and a really cool just Bronze Age cover and everything. Yeah, obviously hard to find a good shape being a darker color, but really happy that I have a copy of this now. Maybe I'd upgrade at some point, but this is actually pretty sweet. All right, well, let's move on to some auction stuff. Now, Alex the Comic Hoarder, if you don't watch his channel, you got to, because he does some awesome auctions. He was auctioning off an Art Germ lot, 3 books included. I should have showed you the other 2 books, but this was the one that I wanted to get from that lot. So I paid about $35 for the 3 books. And this is, of course, Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man number 1, the Mary Jane and Deadpool costume variants. And there's other variants of this, I realize. I think a Virgin one in like black and white or something like that. But this is kind of like the regular variant, but it's awesome and it's in beautiful condition. Thank you, Alex. Always awesome watching the auctions and picking up some stuff. Last video, I picked something up from his auction as well from Spidey fans. So finding a lot of good stuff there. Love the online auctions. So, and this is awesome. I love Art Germ just generally. And this is one of those books that came out before everyone kind of jumped on that Art Germ train. So I'm glad I got it now. All right, let's talk about some eBay pickups. I'll save the best for last. I got a slab we're going to look at the end. But let's talk about some pre-Unity Valiant first. I picked up a lot of pre-Unity Valiant from one seller. So they sold these to me at about $8 a book. I just inquired about a bunch of books they had online and they cut me a deal. So the first one, Harbinger Number 4, this does have the coupon. All of these will have the coupon. So awesome condition. So once I saw how good these were, I'm going to buy some more from the seller actually. So stay tuned for future videos because these things are like beautiful. They've like never been read. They've just been put away and taken care of. And they look amazing. And like I said, I'm trying to collect pre-Unity Valiant. So this is perfect. I love Harbinger. And yeah, with the coupon, I'm just thrilled to have this. And I need to pick up a few other issues to get the whole pre-Unity run. More on that in a little bit. But let's see what else I got from the seller. Harbinger Number 5 with Solar on the cover. A really sweet looking cover there. Again, it has the coupon included. Beautiful condition. The centering on some of these old Valiants is a little suspect sometimes. This one's off slightly, but not bad. I'll take it. And then I got number 6. And this is The Death of Torque. There he goes. So, yeah, another one that has a coupon. This is actually the book that has the last coupon for the 6 coupons. But glad I got that. Looks awesome with that black cover, too. And finally, number 7. This doesn't have a coupon, of course, but it was the last issue before Unity, and I needed this one. And, yeah, again, looks awesome. There's Torque's grave, so there you go. And, yeah, Harbinger run almost complete. I need a few more early ones. We'll talk about that in a sec. Magnus Robot Fighter, number 13, I also picked up from the same seller. Awesome condition again, another pre-Unity book. And I'm getting there, starting to put them together. So I'm going to really go hard on that. So watch my future videos. You'll probably see more. Now, for the big book, I picked this up on eBay. It's another pre-Unity Valiant. It's a 9.8 CGC. And it is Harbinger Number 2. I'll bring it a little closer here for a second so you can check it out. Yeah, this book is incredible. Yeah, I can't believe I found a 9.8. I paid $100 for this and very happy, well worth it. So I have number 1. You saw that in the last video slabbed. I got number 2. I need to find 0 and 3 and I'll have all the pre-Unity Harbingers. Those I want to get sooner than later. They are heating up very quickly as there's more information coming about the media that's going on with Sony and Valiant. So we'll see what happens. But long story short, I just want to collect this stuff. I've always wanted it, so this is the time to get it before the price gets too high. But anyway, that's what I got. Hopefully you enjoyed the haul. Hopefully I'll have another one soon, so stay tuned. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day.